Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Megaman Maverick Hunter X. In the last one we start off playing as our titular character, and now we're gonna break my old order to head after Spark Mandrill.
Spark Mandrill.
And, for the first time I've done it in a while, we're heading after Spark Mandrill before Storm Eagle so I can show off what a stage is like before you go to Storm Eagle. The major difference is the area doesn't dim as much, and during the early sections there are these little energy balls. These electric energy orbs are a lot bigger in Maverick Hunter X than they are in the original game, because in the original game, they're more or less the size of the platform that you're on, but in this they're like twice the size and thus a lot easier to hit. Beyond that, the stage doesn't change too much when you beat Storm Eagle. It more or less just gets rid of that gimmick. The only other major thing of note that I can think of off the top of my head that it changes, the mini-boss against the Thunder Slammer. We'll get to that in a moment. I do feel as if the area when it dims isn't as dark in Maverick Hunter X, due to the fact there are those little extra stage lights to give you hints on where to stand. Either way, Thunder Slammer himself, we're going to be taking down in decent time still. But as you can see, he actively charged up there, and now when you don't beat Storm Eagle first, he has that lightning attack, which is easy to dodge, yes, but I believe it does a significant amount of damage, so you need to be wary of that. Otherwise, the fight is unchanged. He loves going all over the place, jumping around, firing out these little gel balls like that, and those can constrict your movement, so watch out for that. I do love the animation of the bubble around this thing, though. You know, it almost looks like they reused the bubble graphic from CWU014P, I think the thing's name was, Mega Man Powered Up, and the original Mega Man, that bubble boss. Something along those lines. Sadly, something that they changed from the original Maverick Hunter, the original Mega Man X, though, as we saw in the Vile playthrough, is that no matter what you do in Maverick Hunter X, you have to revisit this stage after you get Boomer Kawanger's weapon. Because in order to get either of the two items in this stage, you need a boomerang cutter. Which is a change from the original for the structurally better, yes. But it's annoying that we can't get this now. Also, seeing this screen reminds me, another change that happens if you beat Storm Eagle first is that I believe some areas of this stage will go dark longer. Like, you'd still be in darkness at that climb up there. Or there might be a Vile mode exclusive. I am forgetting at the moment. Mostly because it's so rare that I do this stage before Storm Eagle, I forget what it's like normally, a lot of the time even. It is interesting to play some of the other stages first, where they actually have things that matter, but at the same time, it's so alien that it kind of hurts in some ways. Though I'll always remember this specific hallway in Mega Man Extreme 1's version of this stage, because this is where you got, I think it was the Buster upgrade or the armor? I forget. It was one of them, though. Either way, it's time for Spark Mandrill.
Let's get started. X, you showed up.
Spark Mandrill, do us both a favor and surrender peacefully.
I don't think so, X. Oppose me and I'll crush you.
Sounds like you've gone Maverick. Your time has come, Spark Mandrill.
I'm not the smartest guy around, X, but I have a feeling that Sigma is right.
Spark Mandrill's a bit of a sad case in either playthrough this game because I always tackle him after Chill Penguin, and thus I always have his weakness, thus making him pathetically easy. Even then, in Maverick Hunter X, I don't think Spark Mandrill is as annoying as he was in the original Mega Man X, because he's slower.
So this is what it's like.
Though notable, his new move from Maverick Hunter X is that when he's below half health, his little punch attack will turn into a drill fist that does more damage. It has a slightly longer wind-up time, though. And for beating Maverick Hunter X, for beating Spark Mandrill, we once again get the Electric Spark. Still a very high rapid-fire weapon. It's yellow now instead of purple, which is weird. And when it hits a wall or an enemy, it splits vertically. I rarely use it, in Maverick Hunter X at least. And with that, now it's time for us to head after my usual second pick, Storm Eagle. I love Storm Eagle's stage remix in Maverick Hunter X. It's so good. Storm Eagle's theme was always like my second or third favorite song in the game, and this is just a great remix. Now, one thing I don't think I've commented on too much for Maverick Hunter X is the redesigns the characters got. X and Zero aren't very noticeable, and Vile only has a very minor change with some logo placement. By the way, dash left here in order to get the heart tank. But every single one of the main bosses in the game has gotten a redesign, some significant, some not so much. Spark Mandrill is arguably the most significant design change from Maverick Hunter X because his entire facial feature is different. But out of all the redesigns, my favorite is actually Storm Eagle, because I like the whole kind of more, not skinny, but lean design with heavier plating, I suppose is a way to put it. Makes him look like more of a, you know, combat robot in a way. Plus, Storm Eagle's design was always one of my favorites to begin with. Ride this platform up, and once again, you can find yourself in the air control tower, where once again, there's going to be a sub-tank for us at the end of it. Mind you, Storm Eagle was always one of those Mavericks that got a lot of attention for some reason, because in, like, the original manga and a different manga adaptation, he got a lot of character stuff. He actually has some pretty interesting dialogue in this game, as we saw with Vile, and we're going to see some with X. And for some reason, he's just one the series has always kind of focused on as one to remember. And I like that, but I also don't know why, because in a way, although in a lesser extent, Storm Eagle, due to that, is like this series' Gutsman, because Dr. Wily had some odd fetish with Gutsman that I still don't quite understand, with designs similar to him appearing as late as Megaman in base. And it always just felt weird to me. Especially because Gutsman is nowhere near my favorite design from Mega Man 1. That's either Fireman or Electman. Either way, we're coming up towards the end of the stage. However, one thing this stage still has from the original is that it's the location of a light capsule, which you now need the helmet parts in order to get, thus completing a bit of a cycle.
Inside this capsule are the body parts. Enter the capsule and equip them, and any damage you incur will be halved. It saddens me to think that the war has begun, but I know that you can bring it to a peaceful conclusion, X.
In an odd design choice, I'm actually kind of a fan of for Maverick Hunter X. They require you to get some of the parts in sequence because, yeah, you required the helmet parts to get the Buster parts in the original Mega Man X, but otherwise, you can approach any of the light capsules in any order. In this game, you need to get the dash parts in order to get the helmet parts in order to get the body parts. The Buster parts are the only ones you can get outside of that, which I both like and don't like because I think it's a bit constrictive. But at the same time, it adds a bit more of a backtrack ability to it that I kind of like. Either way, Maverick time.
So it begins.
Storm Eagle! Don't tell me that even you've gone Maverick! Answer me, Storm Eagle! You're not the type of Reploid to do something like this!
Forgive me, X. I must defeat you.
Step into battle.
Now, compared to my fight with Storm Eagle as Vile, this is actually going to be a kind of a sloppy fight. Yeah, you'll see why later, because I wasn't quite used to his slightly altered attack pattern here at first. But otherwise, the new move that Storm Eagle gets on hard mode is that during his wing attack that I think he's about to do, no, he's doing a Storm Tornado right now, his other move where he blows you across the ship with his wings, he'll now fire feathers up into the air, which will cascade down upon you in set intervals, like he's about to do right now. This doesn't look that bad, but it's actually a very annoying move to dodge, because it requires a good amount of precision with where X is and how to dash. Also, seeing his health bar plate like that reminds me, something that they actually decided to keep in Maverick Hunter X from the original Mega Man X is the dash shot trick, where if you're dashing and shooting, you do twice as much damage with standard shots. And that doesn't sound too useful, but due to the length a normal shot gives invincibility frames of, it's actually very preferable to use as a damage attack. We don't have Storm I keep doing that. Storm Eagle's weakness, because that is Sting Chameleon, but you don't need it, because honestly, even on hard mode, he's not a very bad Maverick, although what we're about to see is all sorts of dumb. Oh, come on! It is a good idea to take out Storm Eagle a bit earlier, though. Because even though I took him out 4th here, taking him out as early as the 2nd Maverick is very easy to do and a very good idea to do, because Storm Tornado is absolutely busted in Maverick Hunter X. It was already pretty powerful against normal enemies in the original Mega Man X, but it's even more ridiculous here because its damage has been boosted tremendously. And I think it can even pierce guards now, whereas in the original Mega Man X, it couldn't pass many guards.
Armored Armadillo.
If there's any remix in this game I'm not too fond of compared to the original Mega Man X, it's probably Armored Armadillos, because it doesn't have the right, I don't know how to describe it, oomph to it, I guess, even though the melody itself is still good. Starting off, Armored Armadillo's stage is possibly the most unchanged stage in the game, because legitimately, nothing is different here. There is one difference to it, technically, but that only comes in if you're going for 100%. Which, that might be why they actually didn't change the stage otherwise too much. They wanted to make sure things could be the same. Sub-tanks, by the way, work the exact same way they did in the original game. If you're at full health and you pick up an energy thing, the excess energy will be stored into the sub-tank. However, say you pick up a large energy and you have 1 hit point missing, you're not getting any of that into your sub-tank. So, play smartly, even though I know that's not a word. If there is something that feels like is different for this stage, it feels as if the speed of the little minecart things, as I was on right now, is slightly slower. Also, let's check out the strength of the Storm Tornado. Gone. That took about 2 or 3 seconds worth of Fire Wave in the original game, but now getting that Heart Tank just requires 1 good shot of Storm Tornado. It is ridiculous. In fact, towards endgame, you're going to see me start treating Storm Tornado as if it's my main weapon, because I love the attack in the remake so much. These Eagles are also a bit more annoying than they were in the original game, because they actually killed me for once. Also, the Light Capsule is still up here, and that is still a sign of something special up there, but we won't be able to do that until a few parts from now anyway. But that said, time for Armored Armadillo.
I am under strict orders to protect this mine.
You don't need to take orders from someone like Sigma. He's insane. Open your eyes, Armored Armadillo.
Whether he's insane or not, it's not my place to judge him. I must obey.
Looks like you've gone Maverick. I'm taking you out.
Enough talk. I'm ready to obey my orders. Enough talk. Let's fight!
Out of all the bosses that got changed in hard mode, Armored Armadillos is possibly the most annoying, because it's the only one you actually will not always encounter, because the moment you get rid of his armor, during his electric spark, during his little bounce around phases, he'll now occasionally fire out 4 bullets in a perpendicular fashion like that. And that is extraordinarily annoying to dodge. I also feel as if, not his pattern, but the amount of damage Electric Spark does to him has been changed. But that might be because they changed the way he works in general to Electric Spark. In the original game, he always responded with his little face cannon attack, but now he'll respond with any of his moves, which means this can go on a bit longer.
It was a good fight.
With that said, though, he's probably also the most effective change in terms of feeling like a hard mode boss in both the new attack and the way he reacts to his weakness.
Mission accomplished.
And for beating him, we still get probably my least favorite ability in the game as a normal shot, Rolling Shield, which is a shield that you fire forward, it rolls along the ground, and it'll bounce off of most walls. Its charge shot's very useful when we get that, but otherwise, I don't like this attack much as a normal thing. But with that, I'm going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in Part 8, we'll be continuing on as X, I think taking out the last Mavericks along the way. See you guys then.